think I got it. Doesn't show anybody there yet. We'll see. Keep trying here. Nobody? Anybody? Update event info. People can watch. Still nobody here. Weird. Huh. Oh, I'll figure this thing out. People that can watch, anyone, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anybody here. Oh, I'll just keep trying. Is there anybody here? Let me try something here. Yeah, it's on. Nobody's here. Huh. Well, Derek, there it is. Now I see you. Huh. Well, Derek. Use my other phone. I guess it worked. It doesn't show anybody online on the thing, but I see your chat. So I don't know. Piece of junk. But I have another phone I can look to see if that it was actually working. It seems to be. Hey Grace, how are you? I'm just hanging out in the garage testing this thing and see if it would work. And after 35 minutes of trying failure, Derek helped me out and got it to work. But you were right, Derek. That little setting is very well hidden. My heater's about to go out. Can you guys hear me okay? There's obviously a delay on the chat. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I mean, I can't complain about I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, so I can't complain about using the app. It is what it is. I figured there's a little delay. I've noticed that with other guys. Grace, I don't remember. Where do you live? I want to say North Carolina? Beat Striper Man in. Yeah, Keith's probably out shoveling snow or something. VS. I'm going to assume Virginia. Oh, cool. So you probably didn't get hit by that storm too much. Wasn't it north of you? Where's my other phone? I'm curious how many people are actually on here. I don't know if there it is. It says 6, but I only see 2. Actually, it should be 3 because I'm one of them. Just got rain, huh? That's my heater's going crazy. It's a little cold out here. Just turn it off. So kind of watching from one phone and live on the other. Yeah, bummer. I have to have two phones, one for work and my personal one. Security stuff on my work one. Can't do a whole lot. Is my lawn still green? Yeah, yeah. Not the backyard looks really pretty good. It's starting to go a little dormant. And then, of course, I went on vacation. I was gone for 2 weeks, and Brutus kind of, yeah, dog spots here and there. But that's kind of why I decided to go with Kentucky bluegrass so that that kind of stuff would fill in. So I'm excited to see if that works. Hey, Marshall. Um, it, I've heard good and bad about using Kentucky bluegrass on the west side of the Cascade Mountains here, so I'm going to try it. I mean, worst case scenario, it doesn't survive, and there's plenty of perennial ryegrass there. It'll be fine. So I figured why not try it. But yeah, it's still green. I had a little bit of a rust issue, but just kind of hit it pretty hard with some 1801 and grew it right out. The front yard is trash. I'm hoping to renovate it next year. It's a lot of creeping bent grass and poetry. Marshall, have you been getting any snow? Northern Idaho probably have. Really cold. I've been to Coeur d'Alene and what is that? Bonners Ferry area. It gets pretty cold up there. Raw. Is it Raw or Raul? How you doing, man? Did not put a winterizer down. You know, I'm not a big fan of the theory of winterizers. Um, I did it, but I mean, for me, I don't. Our ground really doesn't freeze. So while the growth might slow down, like I haven't mowed the front yard in 3 weeks and the backyard in 2 weeks. They're both due for it. It can be done, but it's just been raining so much that I haven't had time. Um, there's a lot of question about winterizing and whether or not it's even beneficial. I I look at it this way: as winterizing. If you do it, sure, why not? What's it going to hurt to do it? Nothing. The only time I would think that it would hurt anything is obviously if your ground's frozen and fertilizer's just getting runoff in the storm drains and stuff like that. That would not be good. But putting it down when the ground's not frozen, I don't see why it would really be an issue. We'll see what it does. I got rid of the last little bit of Carbon X I had in the front, and then the 1801 in the backyard. So we'll see how they do in the spring. Marshall, you live in the Coeur d'Alene area. That's a nice area, man. I'd love to live up there. I don't think my wife could handle I don't think she can handle the winters, though. She doesn't like this 45-degree weather. Didn't have time. It doesn't take long, Grace. It really doesn't. Who else is on here? 5 people. Yeah, we probably won't make this long. Let's see. Derek, are you still here? The delay on this live thing sucks. If you guys hear weird noises and whatnot, I'm in my garage and my daughter's room's right above it, and if they're walking around, you can hear it. And hopefully, that's getting filtered out. So I think Derek may have took off. Not too much. Didn't really have anything planned. Just wanted to try this. Oh, by the time you get home, it's dark. Yeah, that's kind of a problem here. I mean, I live so far north. The sun doesn't really come up till almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark by 4 or 4:30. Marshall probably has that same problem. It's dark pretty early. Fortunately for me, I'm usually home by 2 o'clock, so I get a little bit of time. Did I get it live from Gordon? Be honest with you, Gordon, no. I've never used, so because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, I can't just use YouTube. I have to use a secondary app to bypass that. And I couldn't figure out why. I was actually online talking to myself for 5 minutes, and then there's like no chat, nobody on. I'm like, what's wrong? So I texted Derek, and he told me that I needed to set it to where there's one setting in there to make it so anybody can see it. And as soon as I did that, you guys are here. So yeah, I can't harass Justin too much because I did the same thing. What I did do though, my phone's plugged in, and it it it's working. He was kind of trying to do stuff on his computer and ended up having to use his phone, but I learned from that to make sure my phone's plugged in. The Orchards area. So I live in Battleground, very very close. Orchards just down the street. There's quite a few guys that have subscribed to my channel that live very nearby. A couple of them I've actually met. Um, there's one guy that I don't know if he really wants me to mention it, but one of the major companies you guys all know about, one of the owners lives up the street from me, and he's been here a few times. I think I'm going to refrain from saying who that is at this point till I get his approval. But he's been here quite a few times. Really great guy. Anything else? I'm not missing anything in the chat, I don't think. It was kind of an impromptu live thing. I just kind of tried to find somewhere where the lighting was halfway decent. Hopefully you guys can see okay and hear everything. Well, you say you can hear everything fine, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. Or maybe ideas here. So here's one thing I'm doing since I haven't been able to really make a video in like 2 weeks is I'm working on a list of things to do next year. So if you guys have any ideas, throw them out in the chat or send me a message on Instagram, email me. All that info is on my YouTube channel. And I'll definitely consider it. I've got a few things in the works that I can't really say is going to happen just yet, but I've got a few things different this year, and I'm really hoping to renovate the front yard, but there's going to be a lot of money involved with that because of what I want to do and what I need to do. It's not going to be cheap. Gordon, your brother and family lived in Vancouver for some time back in the 80s. I moved here in 2005, and from what I've heard, it's grown a lot. I know it definitely has. I'm to a point where I even want out of Battleground. It's too many people here would like to just get out of this county. But housing market's kind of questionable right now. I'm a little skeptical about the housing market. Wish I could see on this thing who actually is on. I see 6 people, but I'm pretty sure every one of you said something. So, if nobody has anything, I'll let you get back to your Saturday. There he is. What's up, Lalo? How are you doing, man? If you guys haven't gone to check out Made You Look Lawn Care, he does a lot of stuff on Instagram. And if I remember right, you've been doing stuff on YouTube too. I'm subscribed to so many different lawn care YouTube channels. Dude, I hate to say it, I can't watch all of them. I'm literally subscribed to 175 channels. It's very difficult to watch them all. I try to participate and help as much as I can and be supportive, but there's only so much time in a day. I do have a question though, Lalo. Did that grass seed ever sprout for you? I know it was kind of cold there and it was struggling. Did that ever germinate? Yeah, I figured it would. I grew up in on the other side of the mountain from where you're at. I grew up in Laverne, and so I know that Apple Valley, Lancaster area. It gets cold, but then it warms right back up. Thanks, Marshall. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, it gets chilly out there. Most of my family left Southern California. I'm not going to knock it, but I'm glad I did. I have a brother that still lives there. All the rest of my family left. They're scattered around the West Coast. But um, is it okay to put out some next products? If your ground's not frozen, have at it. As long as your soil temp, your soil's not actually frozen, certainly. Raw, what area are you from in Southern California? Man, I hate not talking. I'm just waiting for chat to catch up. You're in Los Angeles. I grew up in LA County, so kind of familiar with it. But like I said, I left 15 years ago. Best thing I ever did, man. Never go back. What do you recommend I put down my renovation? I'm about 20 days from germination. So I don't know if you have the seeding or overseeding pack. I can't remember which one it is. One of them's at 21 days. You're supposed to put down. I believe it's the. I can't remember. I'm looking at my whole stash over here. Next stuff. You do. So if you run over to the next DIY channel, I think that got posted. I did my final step, and I gave it to the powers to be over at the next DIY channel. It just hasn't been published yet. Some of that was my fault. I kind of slacked and forgot it, but I made a deal with John that I would see the project through, so I did. And I'm hoping to do more stuff with the next channel. It's a lot of fun. It's a little nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie. 35 videos later, this is still difficult to do, man. I hate talking in front of this camera. It makes me nervous. You guys are making it pretty easy, not harassing me too much. But what can you do? I can't remember. Hold on a minute. Let me go look and see which one of these you're supposed to put down. So I think you're due for the 901 Green Start, and RGS is the ones you're supposed to do at 21 days. Bermuda from the Arden 15 project, but I haven't wasted. Ton of decorations on the Arden. Well, it's a good thing with that Bermuda. You're not going to kill that stuff. Thankfully, we don't have it here west of the Cascade Mountains. I've heard guys on the east side where it's kind of like high desert. They have some Bermuda, but they all hate it. We don't have anything here. It's just too wet. No, so Lalo, that's something that people tend to get very picky about. My furnace is about to kick on. It might get a little loud in here. Um, you can walk on it. Don't go out there running around on it. I mean, people freak out. They see footprints left behind them. And sometimes it takes a couple days for those to stand back up. You're not going to kill it. As long as the grass isn't frozen, like frost, where you're going to break the crowns, you won't kill it. I mean, obviously don't go out there and start dancing around and playing with kids and whatnot. You'll just tear it out. But just try not to twist your feet. You know what I mean? Like turning. That's one reason why I bought the reel mower, is I could literally, instead of turning a rotary, could pick it up and turn it. You start twisting, you'll just pull grass out of the ground. But to go out there and walk on it and spray stuff won't hurt anything. Matt, But the dog, Brutus, he's something else. I get a lot of people that like when I include Brutus. I mean, when I decided to make this YouTube channel, I know I'm kind of diving in. You know, there's a lot of guys that have done it as a result of COVID lockdown. They're just kind of bored and wanting to do it. I get it. It is kind of neat and fun. I started before that, and I've been trying to think of something different to stand out from other channels, and I figured Brutus was great. I mean, if I wanted a real popular lawn care channel or a real popular YouTube channel, I'd do something with a dog, because man, people love bulldogs. But I'm going to try this next year. I get a lot of people that ask about Brutus, and I'm going to try and include him a lot more often. Raw. I had St. Augustine. Ooh, I'm sorry you had St. Augustine. Don't tell Alan, but that stuff's crabgrass. The Turf Tactile Fest to Kentucky Bluegrass final decision in Bermuda. Blue Muta seems to work. I know a lot of guys that like it. They have it. I did notice Pete at GCI, he wasn't very happy with his bluegrass in his Bermuda. So why do they call perennial ryegrass sissy grass? Because it's easy to grow. It really is. It's just easy to grow. I don't know why they call that either. I think it looks great. It stands up to my weather, the constant rain. Give you an example. It's raining a little bit right now, but we're going to get like 3 inches of rain in the next 48 hours. And it just doesn't stop. I mean, our rainy season won't end until 4th of July. And it holds up to that. I don't know why they call it sissy grass. I think that was a Connor Ward thing, to be honest with you. Just giving Ryan Nor a hard time. Ryegrass works down there. It should. I mean, if you water it enough. I don't think it. Mine doesn't like the heat. Of course, I don't get a whole lot of days above 90 degrees. Very few, actually. To have more than 10 whole days above 90 degrees is rare here. But down there, if you water it, it'll survive. I know Christian, SoCal Law and Order, he's got some ryegrass he's testing out down there near San Diego. Somewhere down there. I think he's actually in Riverside County, but he's trying it. Hopefully it works well for him. Yes, Matt, I saw that, the CK. I'm anxious to get my hands on some of it. It's a more highly concentrated sea kelp. I think John was a little skeptical about releasing that to the public because it is pretty concentrated. I don't think it'll hurt anything. I'm anxious to get my hands on it. John hasn't sent me any, so I'm probably just going to have to buy it, which is not a big deal. I don't care. Let's see. The ryegrass down here is dark green. Yeah, my front yard looks terrible, mostly because it's not a lot of ryegrass, but Pete was nice enough to send me a bag of his perennial ryegrass that he has, and I'm really hoping to do a renovation using that grass seed this year. That stuff's incredibly dark. What made me get in a lawn care? Same thing as everybody else. The damn neighbor across the street was dominating the daylights out of me, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I started doing what you guys all do, watching YouTube videos, learning, started doing it myself. One of the biggest guys I was following was Derek when he had Lazy Lawns, and he pushed me to just start making videos, so I did. Oh, there's Brutus. Dominate, yeah. Man, the guy across the street, he was. Now he's over here. He actually watches the videos sometimes. He's over here going, what did you do? Show me that. Where do I buy that? Most Georgia, Bermuda, fescue. And, you know, when I grew up in Southern California, I can't remember what we had. I want to say it was fescue. Where is Derek? Missed that guy. He was here in the chat a little while ago. I miss him too. I wish he'd do more, but I guess because of where he lives, it's too tough to try and film stuff right now. It actually split a mature tree, to be super careful with it. It actually split a mature tree. I don't know what you mean by split. Yeah, I would think that CK, you gotta be careful with it. How's Derek been? He's doing good. I text him every now and then. In fact, I texted him just before I came on because I kind of needed his help with the software, and he says he's doing good. Just where he lives in Nebraska, man, it's tough to do anything in that kind of weather, wind and cold and. I keep thinking about that, Matt. You split a mature tree. Wondering if that was a typo. I will. I'll tell him. He might even be watching, just not paying attention to the chat. Derek, if you're here, people are saying hi. It cracked it in half. Really? CK cracked it? That's interesting. That's really interesting. You know what you should do, Matt? You should email John. I don't know if you know how to do that. It's answers@longology.com. And kind of tell him what happened, because that's interesting. I'm not familiar with the stuff and what it's capable of doing if it's over applied. So I've got a little test area I don't care about that I may actually see what it does if you over apply it. But I got to get my hands on some first. I just haven't yet. I figure I got plenty of time. You don't use it until the spring anyway, so. Well, it grew fast. Really? That is very interesting. That's very interesting. It grew that fast that it split the bark. Huh. Wow. That's crazy. Dude, if you go to like any of my videos or anything like that, my email address is in the description of any of them, dude. Send me a picture of that. I'd love to see how that happened, because that's nuts. Hold on, I'm gonna answer a text message here. See if I can get this guy to come on. You guys all know. Oops, my chat got all messed up. There we go. John's aware of it. He informs. I hope he informs everyone. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll say something. I know the release of CK is right now is limited. I don't know how long he's going to run that. I have no idea. I see John put a video out yesterday, so he's back home from his trip. Customer have a tree that grew through a brick wall. Wow, through a brick wall. That's nuts. Lalo, do I recommend putting down next products with a backpack sprayer? You can do either, honestly. If you're doing something like Jake's Double Dark, where it's meant to be more of a foliar application, I would highly suggest you use a backpack sprayer. There he is, big dummy. Yeah, I'm the big dummy. hmm yeah, Lalo, backpack sprayer. You can use both, man. I personally like the hose end sprayer when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a piece of junk. Everybody say hi to Christian. You know what you guys should do? Challenge him to get on live. This is my first live video ever. It's really not that hard. I actually think this is easier than making a video. I just had to get a spot where the lighting was halfway decent and not too much noise. Just getting home, give you a minute. Mark, hey Mark. For those of you who don't know, Mark lives very nearby. When will the rain stop, dude? That's why I'm doing a live video. I can't shoot nothing. Not only do I not have a whole lot to do, this rain sucks, dude. It's terrible. And it looks like there's a lot more coming later tonight. Your sunshine is beautiful. Uh huh. Your sun, you can have that sunshine, man. I was telling these guys earlier. I left Southern California 15 years ago, and I'll never go back. Got no reason to go back there other than maybe come visit you. That would be it. Super TA, how you doing, bud? Grass turned white, New Jersey. Yeah, that's what happens when that stuff falls out of the sky, huh? We'll be up here in the spring. I have to see the Barenbrug shop. They're not far from me. They're what, an hour and a half, I think. Correction. We have to. Yes, we have to go see. We will go see. We will go see the Barenbrug Rug shop. There's something else nearby there too, Christian. We need to talk, but they're only open like 2 months out of the year. There's another place nearby there that would be really cool. I'm going to do it whether you're here or not. I think I'm going to do it anyways. So I know Christian has. Have any of you guys tried planting dahlias? Because I'm thinking about doing some dahlias next year. I see Connors and um, I see Connors dahlias all the time, and Dr. Netzel's, and who else does a lot of those? I can't remember who else does have a lot of dahlias, but my wife really wants to put some out front. Yeah, they are amazing. So there is a Swan Island Dahlias. If anybody's ever deals with dahlias, they're one of the bigger suppliers in the country. They were actually only about an hour away from me. And then there's doing some research and trying to figure out what I need to do to prep for that before the spring. I'm finding there's quite a few dahlia gardens very nearby me. One's literally a few hundred feet down the street. I can actually go visit this lady's place, and I can't remember how much property. It's just about an acre or something full of dahlias, but Swan Island dahlias is like 40 acres. It's huge. So nobody other than Christians tried the dahlias, huh? I'm gonna try them. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna get all crazy like Connor does, but I might plant about a dozen or so and see how they turn out. What's my weather like? Man, this is a Pacific Northwest. It started raining right around Thanksgiving, and it won't stop until 4th of July, man. It's pretty wet. It's kind of why I'm in the garage. Um, it's always raining. 40 degrees, raining. Deadheading's the key. Learn from Rob. That's what I'm researching, Christian. I'm deadheading's key, and then pinching them off really helps. I guess when they get so tall, you pinch them off, and that helps them spread and get wider. And what I've got to figure out is my soil. I got this clay junk that just doesn't drain very well. I got to get that figured out before I plant anything. Yeah, Super TA, man. That's one thing I struggle with making videos. While I tried very hard this year to be extremely consistent, at least one video a week, um, it's hard to do it around the weather. There were some days where I had like a 2 hour break and I just had to do it. Um, like right now, it's probably not going to stop for a while, at least for the next couple days. So I decided to just try and come online and on live and say hi to everybody because it's going to be tough. I really wanted to keep videos going through the winter, but A, I'm running out of things to do because, well, grass really isn't just growing, and B, the rain is just a hassle. But I mean, I managed to pull it off. I mean, I took that short break when hunting season started up, and I'm kind of regretting that now. I probably should have got a bunch of videos made to kind of release as I was gone. These my numbers, my analytics, they tanked. They just tanked. I was super excited that I had a plan this year. Christian and I, we communicate daily almost, and we both had these goals for subscribers, and mine was like 300, and I've almost tripled that. And now it's like, man, I'd like to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, but what do we got left? 2 weeks? Not going to happen. Let's see, what did I miss here? I missed something. Kind of the same thing with Christian. I can't remember. Chris, what did you say? You were hoping for 200 by the end of the year, and you've doubled that. And so if any of you guys haven't been over to SoCal Lawn and Order, go subscribe to him. He does some kick-ass work. He's getting a whole lot better, Wayne. His last video was really good. Turned out great. Looks like I got a whole whopping 7 people in here. Jeez, Chris, that sucks. Oh, I changed my logo with the lawn care, and I don't think people knew who I am. I just mix my lawn care business with all the other stuff I do, so I mix it all together. So on a YouTube channel, mixing those together, man, that's going to be, I mean, if you're doing professional and DIY, but it's all lawn care, you'll be fine. But one thing I've noticed with a few guys, I think George just had this problem where he's at Princess Cut Lawns. He's doing all this. He's doing some fantastic videos, but then he did one on like rust repair on his car or something, and he wasn't happy with that one. It just didn't do well. It's almost like you want to make two separate channels. And changing the logo, I need to change mine. That's one of my goals over the winter. I don't like it. I've had people ask for hats and shirts, and I'm not going to invest the money with the logo I'm not happy with. So I'm hoping to change that before the season starts again, February or March. Yeah, it is hit and miss on the YouTube. Yeah. I have some videos that do great daily, but the last 2 weeks, man, nobody's watching nothing. I am. I go back and watch old guys. So like right now, God, I don't want to admit it. I'm actually watching Brett's videos, like from his first one going all the way through. Don't tell him I said that. The other one I'm doing is lawn creeps. That dude's got some intelligence, man. Learn a lot from him. Anything else? Anybody got any want to ask? Or something they want to see in the next year or soon? Video topic they haven't seen? Yeah, Super Tia, you're not the only one, man. I'm like at 175. There's a lot. What would I say was my most costly mistake, and what was it? My most costly mistake. I haven't made very many bigger mistakes. It was costly. I'm kind of cheap, so. Matt, do I know the approximate cost of having a logo made? So what I'm looking in is a website called Fiverr, and it can run anywhere from $5 to $100. I'm not very good with Photoshop, so I mean the one I have now I made myself. That was from a picture that I actually took of Mount Adams nearby, and I quickly went through a Photoshop tutorial and put that together. And I didn't really expect my channel to do that well, so I wasn't willing to invest money. Um, Obviously, it's doing okay. It's doing better than I expected, so I'm getting to a point where I don't mind investing the money. Um, the more color, the more graphics equals more money. Yeah, and that's what it's going to be. It's all going to be about what you want, how many changes you make. It'll probably have a big effect on your cost. I'm still thinking, Lalo, about that biggest mistake when I did. I'm not trying to blow you off, man. I'm just trying to think about it. Biggest mistake. Hmm. It's costly biggest mistake. I just don't really haven't made any big ones. Plus, I'm cheap. Cheap. Any lawn care mistake? Hmm. I'll tell you one I got away with, and I'm kind of glad I didn't film it. When I did my soil test in the spring, I was really low on potassium. Really low. Really, really low on potassium. So it's really been a struggle. And this was just prior to Alan coming out with that 0048. I found um, some 0050, and I bought a 50-pound bag of that. And I put all 50 pounds on 5,000 square feet in one application. I got very lucky that I didn't dry everything out. So far, it hasn't hurt it. Now, I've been trying to avoid putting a whole lot since then. I don't know what I was thinking. What I should have done was maybe like a pound per thousand every month, not just throw a 50-pound bag on 5,000 square feet. That was just dumb. Dumb, really risky. And I'm really glad I did not record it. I do things in the yard that I don't record, and mostly because I'm pressed for time, or it's stuff I've already done, and I just don't think you'd have any interest in it. I can tell you mine's mixing and believing every latest and greatest product. Yeah. Christian, you know where I'm at, man. I'm not going to discuss that one. You know what I'm talking about. Nine people in chat. Well, it's cool. It's like 9 people more than I expected. Really cool. Anything else? We're just going to call it? You're ignoring your wife for me? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not going to answer that one. I'm not. At least you're home and you're not working, right? Ooh, that's a bad one, Matt. Spraying herbicide. I guess it would depend on what kind of herbicide. Trees, bushes, and a lot of dead plants. Wow. Yeah. Ooh. I've seen guys do that. I purposely have a separate sprayer just for like glyphosate. Um, and I have written in big bold letters on it, non-selective. That way I don't make that mistake. I have over applied some herbicides. I kind of tried one out recently that to see how well it would work before I share it with you guys, and because it's not cheap, and it's not easily available, but it does seem to work very well. So I'm going to continue trying it, and then maybe share it with y'all. See ya, Wallow. Appreciate it, man. Do an update on the Kentucky bluegrass soon. Yeah, dude, you just got to deal with until this thing's over. You're just stuck with your work schedule. It is what it is. It'll be over one day, or you'll hit retirement. One or the other. It'll be one or the other. I think it'll be. I think it'll be over pretty quick. In some areas. Let's see here. What kind of liquids besides Roundup? And when you say Roundup, I assume glyphosate. I mean, Roundup has stuff that's safe for grass that you would separate. Some of the like 3-way and 4-way herbicides, they're pretty powerful. Like I said, I started using one a little bit that is pretty friggin' strong. I think I would keep that in its own container. In fact, I did. See you, Earl. Super TA, Blue Bank, Kentucky Bluegrass is whole amazing. Awesome. I know that stuff I planted in the backyard, now, yeah, that came from my soil, but the bluegrass is the exact same cultivars that GCI uses. They're the same. I don't know if they're getting them from the same source. They're the same cultivars, and it's held up pretty good. And I'm anxious to see how that turns out in the spring. The ryegrass is they're different cultivars, but it still looks pretty good. I don't remember Super T. You put that bluegrass in you have it in the front yard, right? Lucia Wilson in Seattle. Oh, so the turf type tall fescue or perennial rye. Honestly, you can do either one. You really can. Um, Myself personally, I'm not a fan of tall fescue. Don't quote me on that. People strangle me for it. I'm not a fan of it. Um, you can do either one. Either one would probably be fine. The ryegrass obviously does better in the weather that we have, but either one would be great. Yeah, that's what I thought. You had it in the front. Now, Lucia, I don't know if you got a hold of any or not, but GCI does have a perennial ryegrass. They had a limited release. Pete did a limited amount of that this year, but I think he's going to do more because it went really fast. It was gone quick. Bag on your fescue. Yeah, I have some. That stuff I did with the turf mend in the spring is fescue. It looks nice. I just not a fan of it. it that ryegrass is so soft. It's I don't care if they call it sissy grass or not. Um, I like it. I think it's good stuff. This bluegrass, I'm really excited to see if hopefully it survives. We'll see. I'm told it won't always survive. Well, you cut the Kentucky bluegrass and perennial rye are different heights. No, Grace. I'm going to leave the backyard at 2.25 inches. It seems to work better. If my wife had her way, that would all be real mode. Believe it or not, she wants it low. My problem with that is it rains too much to keep up with that, and then I have one area that kind of slopes for runoff, and I think a real mower would just slide right off. Lucia, you're watching for that to be on sale. Honestly, Lucia, you know what you could do is just email Pete. He does take some time sometimes to get back to you, but he usually almost always answers his emails. He's really good about that. He's a great dude too. So um, just shoot him an email. He'll give you an idea at least. He'll probably tell you in the spring. That's pretty normal. Or any grass seed will be available again in the spring. Christian, the Kentucky bluegrass holds up in the summer. Switch it all. Yeah, I hope it does too, man. You're gonna have to water the daylights out of that. Perennial ryegrass super TA near New Jersey. It'll probably hold up fine. To be honest with you, dude. Look at these guys in Idaho that get that really freezing weather, or not Idaho, Utah. I mean, that stuff freezes and holds up just fine. It really does. You'd probably be just fine. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that it's not more prominent out there. Let's see what else. Make sure I didn't miss nothing. It's nice only having a couple of you in here. I don't miss any chat. Or I see some of these other guys that are live, and the chat just blows right by them, and I can see where that's frustrating now. Not sure it would hold up. There you go. Super TA Christian's offer to let you test some. Stuff will grow anywhere, man. When I spread it in the backyard, some got in the cracks of my deck and it grew. It's crazy. Let's see, did I miss something from? So I don't see guys dropping off, so I don't know. I think of what else to talk about here. Pete's Kentucky Bluegrass is darker than the fescue. Yeah, that I think that doesn't it have more of that blue hue to it. It'll make it look darker. I don't know, man. He's did you see his latest videos where he put the bluegrass in the Bermuda and then the ryegrass in the other one? That bluegrass just he wasn't happy with it. It didn't look great. Big time darker. Yeah, it might have something to do with where you're at too. 3 1/4. Don't think you can go any lower. You'd be amazed, Grace. Justin cuts his 2.5. That turf time. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, he's like 2.5 inches. It looks Justin's looks amazing. I haven't seen it in person, but it always looks good on film. Pete's a different breed. He can make anything grow. Yeah, he can. His work property. That's where he had that Bermuda and um, with the bluegrass and the perennial rye. Also, Grace, to add to that, all year long out front, um, I've been cutting at like 3 1/4 inches, and I brought it down to 2 1/4. And there's that fescue out there, and it didn't hurt it at all. I think I'm gonna leave it at that too. You ever think I'll do a 100% liquid program? I'm doing that now on the backyard. I'm gonna stick with the Green County fertilizer stuff. It's been amazing. It's easy. I see a lot of people complain about the price. In one video I really want to do um, is, yeah, it's initially an investment, but when you break down cost per application, it's actually cheaper. Um, but a 100% liquid program, I would love to do both. I kind of do the granular on the front yard just so that you guys can see the results of the difference. Um, I could go 100% granular, and this would be just another Green County FERT Pro channel. And I'm not, I want to be able to have the variety to show you. I'm excited this year to use Pro Pete. It's difficult to get here. When I went and visited everybody in September in Utah, you can buy Pro Pete off the shelves in Utah. So I grabbed 200 pounds of it. And I'm going to see how it does this year. I'm excited. And hopefully, Pro Pete will be more readily available. Just got a mow. I'm here. Hey, what's going on, man? What's up with Carbon X? Are they coming back? I can tell you that Matt has openly said it will not be Carbon Earth. Whether or not he comes back in another company remains to be seen. I don't know. something here. Super TA, agree with you on the cost. Yeah, it is kind of a sticker shot. Buying the next stuff, but one of the guys that watches around here, watches the channel and lives around here. He's been here several times. Matt, he's not on here now, I don't think, but I broke it down for him. I asked him, what are you using? If I recall, it was Milorganite. We looked at how much he was spending on Milorganite per each application of his yard, and then we broke it down using 1801, and there was a big difference. It is actually a lot cheaper to just, if you start breaking down the cost per 1,000 square feet, and it kind of will open your eyes to how much more inexpensive doing liquid applications actually is. Let's see. Poetriv is the devil. Yes, it is. I've got a ton of it in the front yard, quite a bit. So hopefully what I'm hoping to do this year, there's going to be some costs involved and a lot of planning, but I have so much of it. I've talked to Alan Hain about it, and he highly suggests sod cut it out. That way it probably will still come back but in smaller areas where it's more manageable. So I need to sod cut it out. The front yard's 3,500 square feet. That's a lot of sod to get rid of that I'm gonna have to pay to dispose of. Plus there's some grading issues. I've got some spot on the side of the house where I need to get the water to flow away from the house a little bit better. So I would actually have to sod cut it out, regrade the entire front yard. If I'm gonna do that paver area I have over on the north side of the house, I'm gonna pull those pavers up and just pour concrete. If I do that, I got to move a sprinkler line that's right underneath it. So there's going to be a lot of planning and stuff, and I'm hoping to do it. It's just a matter of coming up with money. Super TA, yeah, that's one of those things, man. I think his hands are kind of tied. He can't discuss it much. I don't watch Matt's live feed too much. Couldn't answer it. Oh, Grace, let's see, something about, let's move. Christian's giving Grace some good advice over there. All right, Christian, see you later, man. Keep eyes on your Instagram giveaway. Ooh, what are you giving away? You're not even tell anybody? Hybrix versus Pro Pete. I've never used Hybrix. Couldn't tell you. I don't even know what Hybrix. I haven't really looked into it. I've heard of it. I just haven't looked into it. So I couldn't answer that. Pro Pete rocks. Yes, Pro Pete. I really hope this stuff works well because I'm excited for it. I like the theory behind it, the homogeneous prill, the fact that it has a lot of that carbon in it, and God knows my clay soil can use the Pro Peat or the little bit of peat moss that's in it, and I've used it once. Yeah, in the one video I did, and it looked really good after that. I can't wait to start consistently using it. I know Jimmy Lewis, when I was in Utah in September, he uses that stuff exclusively on his front yard, and it looked great. I'm telling you guys, in person, Jimmy's yard looks awesome. It really does. The backyard, too, it's just impressive. Really, really impressive. The only downside with Pro Pete is that unfortunately their yard mastery is not going to be able to carry it for a while. It'll be a little difficult to get. I'm trying to help find a place for people to get. At least the 1704 seems to be popular. You can get some of them at Home Depot. I think they have an 11, 11, 11, a 10, 0, 10, and I can't remember what the other one is. It's pretty high in potassium. I want to say it's like a 7.4 something teen, and they're a little more spendy at Home Depot. You're able to get it from a supplier in Alberta. Awesome. Because, you know, that's kind of the downside is you're going to see a lot of these guys with these YouTube channels. We can get stuff here in the States that you guys can't get. And it's frustrating. That I'd be pissed. I mean, you guys just have so many restrictions, especially on herbicides. Super TA, I'm just as happy with it. Couldn't tell the difference between the Anderson over the Andersons. Couldn't tell the difference. I've never used the Anderson stuff, so I wouldn't know. I'm sure there is some difference. What did Grace say here? They don't do too much to the backyard because the grandkids play back there. Just keeping the front going. Yeah, kids will tear stuff up, Grace. The only reason why I decided to do the backyard is, unfortunately, I had a great big English Mastiff. He was huge, 250-pound dog. And right up to the end, he was blind, deaf. He passed away in February. And I couldn't really do anything back there because he was blind. He would get, I mean, the backyard's only 2,000 square feet. He'd get lost. I'd have to go get him. So I couldn't really do anything, but once he was gone, I decided to go ahead and renovate the backyard. So it's pretty much done. I'm not going to mess with it too much more and start working on the front again. Really neglected the front yard this year. Let's see. So Lucia, you can get Pro Pete in Washington. You can. There is a distributor in somewhere near Tukwila. There's a distributor there, and if you actually go to their warehouse, you can buy a bag from the distributor. You're going to have to go get it, and it's one location. If you need to figure out where that is, email me. Any of my videos, the channel description, whatever, has got my email address on there. And I will forward you that info, but there is a location up near Seattle where you can get it. It's the only reason why I didn't go there is because for me it's a 5-hour round trip to go get it. And I'm not going to drive 5 hours for a couple bags of fertilizer. Instead, I drove 800 miles to Utah and came back with 5 or 6 bags. Yeah, and unfortunately Carbon Earth is probably out of the mix. Well, not probably. It is. As Carbon Earth, it may be something else in a few months. Who knows? Yeah, I want to say it's Tukwila or Puyallup. I never pronounce it right. That's where they're at. There's a distributor there. If you run in there, they'll sell you bags, however many you want. They said they would ship me some, but for free. But I'd have to buy 25 bags, and I don't know what I would do with that. Way too much. All right, well, people are starting to drop off a little bit. Anybody else have any other questions? And let y'all get back to your Saturday. DCM Products. Haven't heard of that. What is that? Or am I just missing an abbreviation? So now I'm anxious to hear what that is. Mini green technology. Look it up. Okay, I'll do that, dude. Interesting. Mini grain technology. Is that kind of like what Pete's working on? Just I'll look it up. It's not a big deal. Give me something to do when I'm done here anyway. All right. Well, it's been a little over an hour. Doesn't seem like anybody has too many other questions. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I'll try and maybe do this a little more frequently throughout the winter, maybe just before New Year's or something. If y'all don't hear from me, have a good Christmas, good New Year's. I know it's been a super tough year. It has. I lost a family member myself to COVID a couple weeks ago, so I get it. It's been tough. Yep, Super T. I'm gonna look that up, man. When I'm done here, I'm go look that up and see what that's all about. Never heard of it. All right, well, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Instagram. There he is, George. It's about ready to bail, and he shows up. George, are you doing a live stream tonight? I'm very curious. Or tomorrow night, I think you do. I can't remember what night you do those. Maybe was it Monday night? There's so many guys doing them lately. Look at see, I decided to almost call it, and look, all these guys show up. How you doing, Mike? Maybe we'll just keep going. I don't care. Next Saturday, I'll be there, George. I was really hoping to catch you last weekend and harass Brett a little bit, but didn't pan out. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Mike. At least you'll have a looks like you're having a snowy white Christmas. I'm not. It's wet. About it. You're accepting calls again. I'll probably do that, man. Who's going to be on your next one? As long as I'm not spoiling anything for you. Yeah, lucky. I'd rather have the snow, Mike, to be honest with you. At least I can, move it out of the way like you did. This rain just, nothing you can do about it. You'll message me. Okay, that'll work. Mr. Lush Lawn. Boy, all of a sudden people are showing up. Been on for an hour and 15 minutes. What's going on, man? Yeah, George, that's kind of unique, man. Taking calls. That's pretty cool. Um, I had your phone number dialed and was ready to hit send. I was waiting for Brandon to get off, so I didn't want to interrupt that. And you guys decided to call it an evening. was about to call it I was about to shut this down and a couple guys showed up, so we'll just keep going. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to do today. Double check my work phone here, make sure. All right. $87 degrees in South Texas. Whew. You know, I visited the Dallas Fort Worth area. Oh God, what was that 2-3 years ago? Man, hot. Texas is hot. Super TA Spray Creek dying on it like Connor. You should, man. That'd be funny, actually. $35. That's cold, George. The next video to do is at John's channel. So John has his own channel. That's the Longology. The next is actually the business. John does separate those two. Next is actually the Greene County Fertilizer channel. He kind of explained that once. He does do them separately. The next videos those were fun. I mean, I didn't get paid to do those. Those were a blast. I'd mentioned to John I was doing the renovation before I went out to Utah to visit, and he was like, "Hey, if I give you a seeding overseeding pack," which he did, you want to make a couple videos and we'll throw them up on there. And even then, I'd asked him one day that to try and improve. You know, the whole reason why I went to Utah was to improve my own videos, right? And I was just asking John, and so as he started the year and he was picking different content creators to make things, I said, what are you looking for to decide who you want to make these videos? And we got a little bit of discussion on that, and he says, okay, so you're ready to make one? I'm like, what? Just completely blew me out of my mind. He goes, yeah, let's try it. And I knew I had this project going, and he sent me a seeding overseeding pack, and I mean, I saved a few bucks on that, big deal, but it's a lot of fun. I got the last video done. It's in the powers to be hand. It's just waiting for them to upload it. I don't have any control over that. So I hope to do more. Those were fun. And I get one box of free product out of it. Big deal. Wife made tacos. Thanks, George, for stopping by. I'd leave to go eat tacos too. Yeah, Super K. They're the next videos. I was real nervous doing the first one, man. I knew I really kind of needed to step my game up because there were going to be a lot more people watching, and I was pretty proud of it. I mean, I got a lot of room to improve. I know that. Some of it's my limited gear, but I just make it work. All right, well, I think we're done. Unless you guys have anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram or Grass Goons Facebook group. I'm always on there. Thanks, Super TA. And man, I try. It's nerve-wracking. You'd believe how much I edit out. Whew. I should start sharing it more. I know Justin, he shares his little goofy things, and they're funny. But I get a lot of them I just edit out. They're terrible. right. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll do this again next weekend or the weekend after. It's really hard to just go out and make a video with the weather. Plus, these are so easy. There's really no planning. So I just kind of last minute decided to try and go live. All right. Doesn't seem like anybody has anything else. So, yep. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see what's going on next weekend, and maybe I'll come on for a few minutes. All right. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Appreciate it.